Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever been in a room and felt someone's eyes on you? Not the kind of glance that passes by, but the kind that lingers. The kind that penetrates your very soul, the kind that makes you feel as though every fear, every doubt, every secret you've hidden from yourself is being gently exposed. Most of us would look away. Most of us would feel the sting of vulnerability and quickly retreat to the comfort of pretending. But that look, that quiet intensity is a message. If you feel it, if it happens to you, it's time to listen. Listen closely because your life is about to shift. That gaze carries with it an unspoken truth. You are capable of more than you realize, more than you allow yourself to dream, more than the world has told you to believe. It's as if someone, without saying a word, is telling you you are seen, even in the parts of yourself you've tried to hide. And when someone truly sees you like that, it is not to shame you, it is not to judge you, it is to remind you that the light inside you is not meant to be dimmed. Too often we walk through life with our eyes fixed on the ground, afraid that if anyone sees the real us, they will find us lacking. But the person who looks at you like this is not focused on what you are not. They are witnessing what is already there. Hidden potential, courage you didn't know you had, the resilience you've carried quietly through years of doubt and fear. They are holding up a mirror that you might never have dared to hold for yourself. And it is in that reflection that you will recognize the possibility of transformation. Think about every moment in your life when you held yourself back. Every opportunity you let slip because you thought you weren't ready, weren't worthy, weren't enough. What if someone else saw through that self-imposed limitation and refused to let it define you? What if someone's gaze became a reminder that your capacity is infinite, that your story is not yet written, and that the fear you feel is not a prison but a gateway? That is exactly what is happening when someone looks at you like this. They are challenging you to confront the lies you tell yourself and to rise above them. We often confuse intensity with judgment, but intensity can be an invitation. It is a summons to step into the version of yourself that has been waiting patiently for recognition. When someone looks at you with unwavering attention, they are telling you that they see the potential you have buried beneath self-doubt, under layers of caution, under the weight of societal expectation. And here is the truth. The world needs the person who emerges when you answer that gaze. The world needs your courage, your honesty, your willingness to embrace the discomfort of growth. Too many of us spend our lives asking for permission to speak, to act, to love, to claim the space we deserve. But the look I am talking about bypasses permission. It does not ask, it does not negotiate. It simply recognizes what is there and waits for you to recognize it too. It challenges the false stories you tell yourself, that you are too small, too ordinary, too flawed, that you are not enough. It does not allow you to hide. It does not allow you to settle. And in that way, it is one of the most honest, pure, and transformative experiences you can encounter. There is a strange beauty in being truly seen. It is uncomfortable at first. It can feel invasive. It can make you question every defense you have built around yourself. But if you lean into it, if you allow yourself to be open, the gaze becomes a lifeline. It becomes a bridge to the courage that has been lying dormant, waiting for someone to acknowledge it. You realize in that moment that the only thing that has been holding you back is yourself, that your fear of being seen has kept you small when the world has been ready for your greatness all along. You may ask, how do I respond to such a gaze? How do I honor it without losing myself? The answer is simple, though it requires everything from you. You step forward, you stop hiding, you start believing, you start acting in alignment with the person you have always known you could be. That look does not demand perfection, it demands presence. It demands honesty. It demands that you confront the part of you that whispers, I can't, and respond with the part that roars, I will. There are people in your life who will ever see you like this. They will skim your surface, nod politely, and move on. There are others who will see your mistakes, your failures, your insecurities, and define you by them. But the one who looks at you like this is different. They are rare. They are the ones who can sense the potential beneath the struggle. They understand the resilience behind the fear. They recognize that you are not your past, you are not your limitations, you are not your doubts. They see the possibility of your highest self and they challenge you to meet it. And here is the paradox. You do not need them to validate you. You do not need anyone to authorize your greatness. But when someone does see you like this, it is a reminder that the world is capable of recognizing your power even before you do. That recognition, when embraced, can ignite a fire that no doubt, no fear, no external force can extinguish. It can make you unstoppable because it reconnects you with something you may have forgotten, your own innate brilliance. So, pay attention. When it happens, do not look away, do not shrink, do not dismiss the intensity of the moment. Let it move through you. Let it awaken in you the courage to act, the willingness to grow, the determination to become the person you have always known you could be. That look is not a judgment, it is a challenge, a call, a permission slip to finally stop waiting for the world to approve you and to start approving yourself. You might feel afraid, you might feel exposed, you might even feel unworthy. That is exactly why it matters. Because the greatest growth often comes from the places that make us most uncomfortable. And the gaze that pierces through your defenses is pointing you directly toward the path of transformation. It is saying, without words, you are ready, even if you do not believe it yet. It will not always be easy. The road that opens when you respond to that look is full of uncertainty, full of challenges, full of moments where you may question yourself. But it is also full of revelation, full of power, full of clarity. You will find strength you did not know existed. You will discover resilience you did not know you had. You will uncover courage buried beneath years of fear, hesitation, and self-doubt. And in that discovery, you will realize something profound. The gaze was never about them. It was about you. It was never about judgment, critique, or evaluation. It was about possibility. It was about awakening. It was about reconnecting with the person you have always been meant to become. That look is a reminder that life is waiting for your greatness, that your dreams are waiting for your courage, that your potential is waiting for your attention. Every time you feel it, do not ignore it, lean into it. Let it remind you of the power, the brilliance, the resilience, and the courage that is yours. Let it be the spark that lights the fire inside you, the reminder that you are never as small as you sometimes feel. Never as limited as fear tells you, and never as invisible as doubt convinces you, because someone has seen you, truly seen you, and in their seeing lies the seed of the life you are meant to live. There is a rare and profound experience in life when someone looks at you in a way that cuts through the layers of pretense, the walls you've built, and the masks you wear. It is a gaze that does not merely see the surface of your face or the image you project to the world, but something deeper, something essential. Most of us have spent years learning to hide, learning to shrink, learning to make ourselves smaller so that others are comfortable. We've been told to conform, to be cautious, to lower expectations of ourselves so that we do not disappoint or draw attention. But when someone truly sees you, it bypasses all of that. It bypasses judgment and criticism. It looks past your mistakes, your insecurities, your failures, and it lands on something much bigger. That gaze recognizes what why are capable of before you even realize it yourself. It's as if the person staring at you is able to peer into the quiet, hidden corners of your life, where dreams have been buried, where courage has been quietly nurtured, where strength has been quietly forged in the fires of hardship. They notice the potential that you yourself might have doubted for years. They see the abilities, the talents, the creativity, and the resilience that you've been told were not enough. And by seeing it, they are silently inviting you to acknowledge it too. They are holding up a mirror that does not reflect your flaws, but your untapped power. That mirror does not flatter, it challenges. It shows you who you are capable of being, not just who you are today. Most of us are unaware of how much of our lives are lived under self-imposed limitations. We let fear dictate our choices. We silence our voices before they even reach the room. We tell ourselves that we cannot achieve something because we are not ready, not talented enough, not smart enough, or not worthy enough. But when someone looks at you like this, it interrupts all of that. It says to your soul, I see you. I see your potential. I see the greatness that exists beneath the doubt. And the power of that recognition is immense because it awakens something you may have almost forgotten, the belief that you are capable of more than you have dared to try. What makes this moment so transformative is that it is not a suggestion. It is not praise or encouragement that can be easily dismissed. It is recognition that penetrates, recognition that calls your bluff, recognition that refuses to let you hide from yourself. When someone truly sees you, they are holding you accountable to your highest potential without saying a word. They are shining a light into the parts of yourself you have neglected, and in that light, you can begin to understand your own possibilities. The gaze also carries a subtle but undeniable energy that can say, I are a deep internal awakening. Suddenly, the voice inside you that says, I am not enough, loses power. Suddenly, the fear that has held you back feels smaller, less intimidating, because another human being has recognized that the very qualities you were afraid to show are actually your strength. They do not judge you for what you lack. They see what you can grow into. And that is transformative because it allows you to step outside the cycle of self-doubt and limitation that has defined much of your life. When you experience someone looking at you like this, it is not just a moment of connection. It is a turning point. It is an opportunity to awaken to the reality of your own power. It is a reminder that you have abilities, talents, and a resilience that have been waiting for recognition, even if you didn't believe they existed. It is a silent call to rise to the level of your true potential, to honor the person that has always been inside you, quietly waiting for permission to emerge and to act in ways that align with your highest self. This moment of being truly seen, see. And ignite a spark that grows into a flame, a force that propels you forward into choices, actions, and decisions that you may have once thought were impossible. It reminds you that your life is not defined by past mistakes, societal expectations, or self-doubt, but by the untapped capabilities that exist in every moment. It asks you to stop underestimating yourself, to stop shrinking for the comfort of others, and to start living with the awareness of your true potential. Fear and vulnerability are two of the most misunderstood forces in life. We are taught to avoid them, to push them away, to cover them up, as if feeling afraid or exposed is a weakness. But the truth is that they are not signs that we are small or inadequate. They are signals that we are on the edge of growth, that we are standing at the threshold of something greater than we have allowed ourselves to imagine. When someone looks at you with unwavering focus, it is often fear that rises first. You feel it in your stomach. A flutter of anxiety, a whisper that says, "I am not ready. I am not enough. I cannot do this." And yet, it is precisely this fear that carries the key to transformation if you are willing to face it. Vulnerability is the other side of the coin. To be seen, truly seen, is to be exposed. It is to acknowledge the parts of yourself you hide from the world, the doubts, the insecurities, the failures, the moments of weakness. Most of us recoil from this kind of exposure because we have been conditioned to believe that showing our true selves will lead to rejection or ridicule. But when someone looks at you in that way, their gaze is not about shaming you. It is about inviting you to step into honesty, to embrace the fullness of who you are, and to recognize that being vulnerable is not a liability but a strength. It is the doorway through which courage enters. Every moment of fear, every moment of vulnerability carries a choice. You can let it paralyze you, keep you small, and retreat into the familiar confines of safety. Or you can lean into it, breathe through the discomfort, and allow it to guide you toward growth. The look that pierces through your defenses is a call to choose the latter. It is asking you to confront the story you have been telling yourself about limitations and inadequacies and to replace it with a story of possibility and courage. That choice is rarely comfortable. In fact, it is almost always frightening. But it is in that fear and through that vulnerability that transformation happens. Think about the moments in your own life when fear stopped you from taking action. Perhaps it was a dream you abandoned, a conversation you avoided, a risk you refused to take. Now imagine if, instead of letting that fear dictate your choices, you allowed it to teach you, to propel you forward. Imagine if vulnerability became a tool, not a threat, allowing you to connect with the world more deeply and honestly. That is the power embedded in the gaze that calls you to growth. It is a mirror reflecting the person you are capable of becoming if you have the courage to step into the discomfort. The paradox of growth is that it often comes in moments that feel unsafe, uncertain, and uncomfortable. Fear is not an enemy. It is a guidepost. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It is the gateway to authenticity, creativity, and resilience. When someone looks at you and their eyes hold intensity, it is as if they're pointing to this paradox, silently saying, "This is your moment. This is the space where growth begins. Step into it, even if it scares you." Most of us avoid fear and vulnerability because they demand honesty. They force us to confront who we are, who we have been, and who we could become. They strip away the excuses, the distractions, and the protective armor we wear, leaving us exposed. And yet, in that exposure lies power. In that discomfort lies possibility. In that confrontation with our own limitations and insecurities lies the path to becoming more than we have ever imagined. Every step you take into fear and vulnerability strengthens you. Every moment you allow yourself to be fully present despite discomfort deepens your understanding of who you are and what you are capable of. It opens doors that were previously invisible and builds bridges to possibilities that once seemed unreachable. Fear and vulnerability are not signals to stop. They are signals to move forward, to lean in, to trust that the courage and resilience within you are far greater than any challenge in front of you. Every moment of being truly seen is an opportunity, but it is also a test. It is not enough for someone else to recognize your potential, your courage, or your hidden brilliance. That recognition is powerful, but its true value depends entirely on how you respond. It is your choice that determines whether the gaze you receive becomes a catalyst for transformation or a fleeting moment that passes without impact. To respond fully is to step into presence, to act with honesty, and to align your actions with the person you have always known you could be. Most of us have spent years living for approval. Approval from parents, teachers, friends, society, and sometimes even strangers. We measure our worth against external standards, allowing other people's perceptions to shape our decisions and define the boundaries of what we believe we can achieve. But the gaze that sees you for your true potential is different. It is not asking for permission, it is not negotiating, and it is not judging. It simply reflects back the reality of your capability and waits for you to acknowledge it. That is where the responsibility falls on you. That is where your response becomes crucial. Responding means courage. It means facing the inner resistance, the fear, and the doubt that arise whenever you are asked to rise to a higher version of yourself. It means accepting that growth will not be comfortable, that stepping into your potential will require sacrifices, effort, and persistence. It means confronting the stories you have told yourself for years about why you are not enough and replacing them with actions that prove otherwise. It means moving beyond passivity and choosing to act in alignment with the person you are capable of becoming. Your response also requires honesty, not just with the world, but with yourself. It requires recognizing where you have held back, where you have avoided risk, and where you have allowed fear or self-doubt to dictate your choices. It means acknowledging the ways in which you have underestimated yourself or settled for less than you deserve. Being honest in this way is uncomfortable because it forces you to confront the truth about your potential and the responsibility that comes with it. But in that honesty lies power because it gives you clarity about where you need to go, what you need to change, and how you can step into your own greatness. Action is the final piece. Recognition and awareness are important, but without action they remain abstract and fleeting. The gaze that sees you is a mirror, but mirrors cannot move for you. They cannot build the bridges or break down the walls for you. They only reveal what is possible and what already exists within you. Your responsibility is to translate that awareness into concrete steps, decisions, behaviors, and choices that reflect the version of yourself that is capable, courageous, and resilient. Action is what transforms potential into reality, what turns possibility into achievement, and what converts the energy of recognition into lasting change. There is a transformative rhythm to this process: being seen, acknowledging your potential, confronting fear, EMB, racing vulnerability, and then stepping into action. Each element builds on the other. Each one demands something from you, and each one offers something in return. The gaze that recognizes your potential is not a gift to be passively received. It is a summons, a challenge, and a call to responsibility. It reminds you that your life is shaped not by external circumstances, but by your response to the opportunities and insights that life presents. Your response also determines the legacy you create. By leaning into your potential, by acting with courage, and by embracing the person you are capable of being, you inspire others. You show the world that recognition alone is not enough. It is what we do with it that defines us. Each step you take, each choice you make, each moment you decide to rise to your potential strengthens the impact of that gaze, not just for you, but for everyone around you. It becomes a ripple effect, a wave that grows outward, influencing lives in ways you cannot why. To imagine. Responding fully also builds resilience. Life will continue to test you. Fear, doubt, and challenge will not disappear. But by responding to the gaze that recognizes your power, you create a foundation of confidence, courage, and self-trust. You learn that your potential is not fragile, that your abilities are real, and that the world is waiting for the person you are capable of becoming. That response transforms recognition into momentum, awareness into action, and potential into accomplishmental of these moments. The piercing gaze, the stirrings of fear, the invitation to act come together to remind you of one undeniable truth. Your life is not meant to be small, hidden, or safe. It is meant to be bold, expansive, and fully alive. When someone sees you like this, when fear and vulnerability call you forward, and when you choose to respond with courage and action, you step into a version of yourself that has always existed, waiting for recognition. Every glance, every challenge, every discomfort is an opportunity to awaken the strength, the brilliance, and the potential that is uniquely yours. The world is ready for what only you can offer, and the moment to rise is now. Step fully into your power, trust the process of growth, and embrace the life that has been waiting for you with open arms, because your time to shine has come.